Jai Hind. Good morning to all the government and corporate dignitaries present here. First of all, I thank you, SHM, to take an initiative for putting all together on a single platform to discuss the transformative potential of Gati Shakti. This is a great initiative taken by the SHM. We thank you for this. It's good to see that India has risen 6 points in World Logistic Performance Index, but definitely there are points of concern on logistic cost, which is 14 to 15% higher comparatively developed countries, 7-8%. Most of the point Rajesh Panditji and Yadav ji has covered on broader way. Since I am related and into warehouse development, I will briefly touch on warehouse integrated with Gati Shakti plan. After exponential growth of warehousing since last 10 years due to e-commerce growth and various factors, now presently we see it is high time we focus on creating infrastructure for manufacturing and logistics. I will briefly touch two sectors of warehousing which is related to Gati Shakti, that is multi-modal logistic parks which discussed, and the general warehousing. The MMLP was planned in industrial corridor along the DFC, dedicated freight corridor. But recently we have seen last almost 7-8 years, maybe 10 years, no one came forward to take the MMLP because there was no user as such, because there was no revenue seen in MLP. These MMLP, multimodal logistic parks, will only be successful when some infra is creating, some industry is created, then only MLP taker will come. So this is, we have seen in last 7-8 years. And comparatively, general warehousing, it has exponential growth. Might be reason, e-commerce growth, the foreign investments, interest shown in the warehousing sector after commercial, residential and office space, and of course, government allowing 100% FDI and giving infra status also. So these are the factors. There is a exponential growth in general warehousing, and growth, if you compare these last 8 years, the fund size, approximately 10 billion USD infused in this sector. And before this 8-10 years was only 1 billion. That's the comparison if we compare. And the size or the constructed area with this 10 billion is approximately 215 million square feet, which is contributing to almost 10 lakh direct and 20 lakh indirect job creation. To see how the growth in this sector taken place. And now the next sector which Rajesh and Yuvraj also mentioned, the new, because e-commerce has shown some slow growth because of global e-commerce slowdown, but manufacturing is the next bet we should focus on that. And these are the data we have shown, we have seen recently. My personal take in this, that what are the problems we are facing in this sector? The major problem, because since I am related to warehousing, I can discuss on only warehousing only, that land acquisition, land cost, and the construction cost. So land acquisition and land cost is the major factor which is contributing to the challenges for warehouse development. And by creating, because land mostly is a state subject, and every state revenue policy is different. But since Gati Shakti is planned as a whole to bring down the cost of these logistic costs, we are mentioning 14-15%, and how we come down to the global developed country cost 7-8%. To then we should integrate these challenges with Gati Shakti plan, and we should create some nodal agency or nodal spoke every state, and the process of acquisition should route through that spoke will, I think, make this process faster. And like I said, the major challenge is land acquisition, and land acquisition challenge is because of the fragmented land, because of the, if I compare since last 3 years, land cost has risen up to 40%, and the rental is just 4-5%. Mr. Hemantji, and they will agree with me, they are into warehouse sectors. So 40% and 5% is totally unimaginable data. So we have to shift our strategy, government strategy, because acquisition is difficult due to fragmentation. So we have to shift on PPP model where farmer can be a part of revenue sharing, government can be part of revenue sharing, and of course developer, since he's putting money, he should be a part of revenue sharing. And that model recently I personally faced. We were acquiring land in Bangalore. It took 3-4 years, but when we went into lease model, it took only 6 months. So that lease model is where the partnership of farmer, developer, and government is standardization of lease happened, and warehouse zones are fixed on outer ring road or nodal nodes. And those warehouses zone, if government acquire land on lease, I don't think there will be any reservation from farmer, because farmers generally, they don't, as mindset, they don't want to part away with the land. So when they come to know they are owner of the land, maybe for lease has to be for longer period, for 50-60 years to attract the foreign investment or institutional partner. So these are the challenges. In fact, we have to create some innovative way to address that, so that the cost should not go up on land acquisition and all. Rest, I think most of the point covered by our Mr. Rajesh ji and Yurav ji. Thank you again for inviting us and giving us this platform to discuss. Thank you very much.